Would one of the most legendary players in Texans history return if he was asked? Well, let's hear from J.J. Watt and break down his response. Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans, and let's talk about J.J. Watt and his potential return to the Houston Texans. That's right. It's something that we're talking about May after he spent those years in Arizona, spent a year retired. Now here we are in May talking about a J.J. Watt return to the Texans. But why are we talking about it? Well, J.J. Watt was asked about it at his charity softball game, Constellation Field, over the weekend. J.J. Watt gathered up a bunch of current Texans players, a bunch of Texans legends, and played some softball, all for a good cause. Congratulations to the J.J. Watt Foundation. Over $7 million distributed for after-school programs over the course of the existence of the charity. He does a fantastic job, and the celebrity and charity softball game has always been a big part of it. Well, before he hit the field, he hit the podium and was asked by Brandon Scott of Sports Radio 610, hey, how do you stay away from the game when the Texans look as good as they have? And my buddy Figgy Fig caught the answer. Here it is.
I'm a very fortunate, lucky man. I got a beautiful wife. I got a beautiful son. I've had 12 great years in this league, and I'm very thankful to have walked away healthy and playing great. I told D'Amico last year, I said, don't call unless you absolutely need it, but if you ever do call, I'll be there. But he knows not to call unless he absolutely needs it. This is the last year I'll tell him that, because I'm not going to keep training the way I've been training, but he knows that if he ever truly does need it, I'll be there for him. But I don't anticipate that happening. They got a very good crew.
So you're saying if 4 defensive ends go down by week 12, there's a possibility that you're stepping up?
I very much don't want that to ever be the case. Yes, I hope that everybody stays extremely healthy and they dominate and they don't need any other bodies. And I just get to watch and enjoy from the couch.
If D'Amico calls, JJ would answer the bell for a return. Now, see, this is why J.J. Watt is one of the best ever. He's being very diplomatic. He's being very conscious of how the fans would react to this. He's leaving the door closed, but not locking the door. But I'm here to tell you, listen, J.J. Watt is not coming back to the Houston Texans. I'm sorry. As much as I would love to see 99 running around on that field, and you could put together all the different signs and conspiracy theories you want, from what Watt said there to the fact that Danielle Hunter didn't take his number or close to his number when he signed here after being 99 in Minnesota, to JJ still squatting an incredible amount of weight and still working out hard in the off seasons and while he's been away from football. He's not happening. He's not going to come back and play for the Texans. I feel like there's 3 chief reasons why that wouldn't happen. Number one, the situation that he talked about last year happened. The situation where if D'Amico Ryans had called and needed him, felt like they wanted to go to him, it was a situation to call. D'Amico Ryans didn't call. And the Texans needed defensive end help. Jonathan Grenard was banged up at the end of the year. Will Anderson was banged up at the end of the year. They were putting Derek Barnett, who they'd claimed off of waivers in the middle of the year, out there. They were putting Majai Sanders, who they claimed off of waivers, out there at defensive end. Jerry Hughes was having to play a bunch at defensive end. The Texans didn't call. Like, the scenario where you would call J.J. Watt happened last year, and they didn't call him, and he didn't show up. And he was adamant during the season last year, even as the injuries piled up, on the Pat McAfee show, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And he talked about it. He's got a great situation, a great setup right now. He's not really in football shape. And here's the thing. I know somebody's going to say, well, Cody, what if they got 13 wins, they're atop of the AFC, and why wouldn't they bring him in then? Because if they're that good, if the Houston Texans are awesome, unquestioned one of the best teams in football, one of the best teams in the AFC, then they probably don't need J.J. Watt. That means Will Anderson's healthy. That means that Danielle Hunter's healthy. That means that Nico Autry's taking care of business as a backup player. That means the 4th or 5th defensive end is making things work. It's like they probably don't need J.J. Watt in that scenario, and if they all of a sudden did need him, the ramp-up would be too difficult, okay? So the scenario presented itself last year. They didn't get him, okay? That was number one. Number two, if the scenario shows up this year, the timing's not going to be right. He's going to spend, the rest of this year staying in football shape just in case in week 16, 17, and into the playoffs, the Texans need him because somebody gets injured, that's not something Watt's going to do. It would take the ramp-up time too much. And if the Texans are in a position where he'd think about coming back, that means they're already good and probably don't need J.J. Watt. And finally, J.J. Watt's never been a ring chaser. Like the ring chaser mentality. Oh, just get him a ring. Get him a ring. That's all J.J.'s lacking. Just get him a ring. Watt's never been a ring chaser. It's evident by the fact that he went to Arizona when he left the Houston Texans. The Cardinals were not some amazing, incredible, ready to take it to the Super Bowl, no doubt, Super Bowl contender. Like they were still very much an up-and-coming team that Watt was betting would be a solid team. But if he was chasing a ring, there are a variety of different places he could have gone. Even if he wanted to just stay out of the AFC, he didn't really want to play the Texans, didn't really want to go through the AFC. Like if he didn't want to go to Kansas City or Baltimore, he could have gone to San Francisco. He could have gone to Green Bay. He could have gone to one of these other teams in the NFC that were still pretty good, but he went to Arizona. That wasn't a ring chaser move, and he's never been a ring chasing type of guy. I think the slogan is dream big, work hard. Yes, dreaming big would be a championship ring, but I feel like part of Watt's enjoyment to football was the grind that he had to put in to get to the level that he was at, and he's decided not to put that grind in anymore. He's decided to spend more time as a father than a football player, to spend time in business with his soccer team and not in business with the NFL. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'd love to see 99 running around. I'd love to see J.J. Watt come in and sack Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, but that's just not realistic anymore. And I love that J.J. is diplomatic in the way that he answers things, and he doesn't dash fans' hopes, and he doesn't ruin that little thing. But this is trying to pay your bills with a scratch-off. Yes, maybe one day in a very particular situation, you'll scratch off and pay off all your bills with your winnings from the scratch off. That's not what's going to happen here. This scratcher is just memories that you're scratching off. I don't know if that analogy totally works, but it's the one that came to my mind. So congratulations to J.J. Watt on a great career. Congratulations to J.J. Watt on a great career that's not restarting anytime soon. I wish him the best in his broadcasting endeavors because he's pretty good when he's on TV. I wish him the best in his international soccer endeavors, and he seems to be very excited about his investment in his soccer team, and I wish him the best as a father, and he'll remain forever a Texans legend, and the legend is going to stay on the sidelines. That's how I feel. Now, I don't mean to burst your bubble if you thought J.J. Watt was coming back, but I don't believe it's going to happen. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me the scenario where you could see Watt returning. I'll have to tell you that that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, 99 has donned his Texans uniform, and though he would look really good in the Battle Reds, which he said is his favorite, it's not happening ever again for Watt and the Texans. Let me know in the comment section, though, if you agree or disagree with me. Throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're looking for info on future Texans and potentially future legends in the Texans organization, I broke down all the draft picks that the Texans made on the channel this week. Check out those videos. You don't want to miss out on any of those, from Kamari Lassiter in the second round all the way through Ladarius Henderson in the seventh round. Each player got some time here on the channel, so check out those videos from this week as well. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.